Having trouble feeling creative, creator's block. I get asked, how do you overcome creator's block? It's something that I can sort of understand, but as a professional artist, it's something I've never been able to afford. There's been times where I've had to paint murals that I didn't feel like painting, and I just had to do stuff. That kind of, but when there's stuff that I don't have to do and I'm still creative, that's kind of where I can understand how you don't feel creative. What I would say is there is a cycle of creativity. If you can hop on this roundabout, this cycle, you'll never have a problem with this. Let's talk about where the cycle begins. It begins with the design process. So you have your ideas. Now your ideas come from brainstorming, and they come from thumbnail sketches in your journal, visualizing, daydreaming. There's lots of creative techniques you can do to think creatively. What I'd say, and this is what you want to do to become an artist, is to start off with a body of work. So that's why I'd say pick a theme and do a complete body of work. I have probably about 5 themes running through my art at the moment. Ranges from snakes to devils to thylacines to comic strips to t-shirts to fine art paintings and prints and historical stuff. I just have all this stuff, and so I have lots of threads going, and I have journals chock-a-block full of ideas. I've got more ideas than I have life to paint them all in or to draw them all in. So once you get this established in your journal, just imagine you're going to have an exhibition, and you're going to have 15 paintings for an exhibition. You draw little rough thumbnail sketches on that. That's a starting point. Say you're going to illustrate a book and you need 20 illustrations. Say you're going to draw a comic, you're going to need a lot more. Say you're doing concept artwork for a computer game. You need to draw the characters, lots of characters, and think up a story. They all sort of go into a journal, a place where you can, whenever you're sort of feeling, oh, I don't feel inspired, you come back to the idea, the inspiration of drawing something. I'm going to call this pencil. You can call it pencils, you can call it underpainting, you can call it, in terms of printmaking, plate preparation. Let's call it pencils. So by pencils, I'm saying that if you was doing an illustration, you would do the pencils, and the pencils, you're inspired from this, you're excited from this, so you're doing the pencils. You know, and that's sort of what people call inspiration. But then you go do the drawing work. So using the illustration thing as an example, next you go do your inks. So if I'm doing a drawing that's going to be inked, you know, I have this, here's my journal. Okay, just brimming with all these great ideas. Goes onto a piece of paper, which is where I'm going to do rough pencils, or it can be a canvas where you're just sort of doing the underpainting, or you could be just transferring a rough drawing onto a sheet of lino to a lino cut. Think of this and all those sort of things. This is all really, I'm getting the image, I've started getting the image down onto the canvas, I've started getting the image onto a plate, onto a piece of paper. That can be the exciting bit, and that's what people call inspiration. But you're not like that all the time. That's why I say you've got to get onto this sort of, this pathway. And this could be the biggest thing to get to. Sometimes you do feel inspired, and when you do, you want to pencil down half a dozen different drawings. You want to underpaint half a dozen paintings. Then you come down to what I call the drone work, the monkey work. Inks or painting. So what you're doing here is stuff that's going to take hours, but it doesn't take as much brain power. When I'm doing this, I can't have audio tapes playing, I can't have TV on, I can't have anything to distract me. When it comes down to putting the detail on, you stick your audio books on, you stick music on, you listen to, when you have the TV playing. It doesn't really matter because you're making micro decisions. You're not really having to concentrate that much. You can just like work away for hours and hours and hours. So this is quick, this is slow. This I usually do in an armchair. I sit in an armchair and sketch rough thumbnail ideas. It's probably, and I find that really relaxing and unwinding because I have a journal. They don't show anybody. These are really silly. Well, I could show people and they'd just sort of think, what's all that scribble? It's like a shorthand that only I understand. When it comes down to the pencils, it's like, this is exciting because I'm starting a new project. So you've got that bit of excitement happening. When you get to there, you are now on the cycle. Ideas, pencil, inks, ideas. When you are here, sometimes I have to think, oh, that's a good idea. I have to stop and take notes or have this journal next to me while I am painting or printing, because more ideas come, so I quickly jot them down there, which later on I get in the armchair and sketch out some more ideas. Let ideas expand, let them evolve. So it is probably here and here, when people don't feel inspired here, they don't get to here. Once they get to there, you just got to get the first one happening, you start this cycle going. Now this can build up a certain momentum where you start becoming very prolific and you're creating all the time. Getting from there, creative thinking techniques, any crazy idea will work, and then you just do a cull and you sort of pick out the best ideas. Get your pencils, get one there that you're excited about, you pencil it. And you know how a lot of people start things and they don't finish things because they have the inspiration and they stop because they just can't get through the monkey work, or because they haven't planned it. Some people will just get a canvas, get paint and start. Okay? Sometimes that works. Usually it doesn't because they haven't got this happening. And also because they're trying to make all these decisions on there and they run out of steam. This is where all the steam happens, this is where it all happens, and this is the monkey work, this is the drone work where you slowly just chip away at it, but while you're doing that you're thinking up ideas here. Keep this cycle going and you'll succeed.